Continuing along here with the teardown of this ETA, I've had people contact me and ask me why I don't show or explain mainsprings and barrels and taking apart and winding. Again, I assumed anybody working on a watch would know that, so why bother covering it? And then you realize, well, maybe somebody doesn't know that and they want to learn it. How do you go about doing that? Well, we're going to do that now. We have this ETA mainspring barrel right here. This is a spring that slips in the barrel, and to take that spring out is very easy. Putting it back in is very easy if you have a winder. Winders, I bought 2 sets of winders on eBay, vintage old ones that work fine. I'm not spending $500 on a set from Switzerland. I don't know where these are, probably US. So the first thing I'm going to do is we got to get that cover off, and this cover here is the part that comes off, and it's just a matter of gripping the, let's see if I can focus this so everybody can see it and they'll send me bad messages. I'm going to put my fingernails on that gear, and with my thumb I'm going to push that arbor through, and that's going to pop that out the back. Hopefully I can show it to you. I don't do this with gloves because everything's going to go into the ultrasonic cleaner and the gloves are rather slippery. So let's see. I have a grip grabbing on, and I push, and you can see that popping through, and as you come around you can see that top cover has been released, and I come in and remove the cover. Simple. Looks very dry. There's not a lot of lubrication in there. This is going to require some lubrication and some slipping grease on the OD of the spring and the ID of the barrel, and we want to notate the orientation of that. The coil is running in this direction, so if you were to wind it, you can see it's wound in this direction. That's important to know when you go to install this. You can put these in backwards and then your arbor doesn't go in right, or if you do get it in, it doesn't engage and you won't get the watch wound. I'm going to pull back here and pick this up. This is just disassembly. We're going to show how to install this when it's out of the cleaner and we're ready to put this together. Of course, my computer is slowing down again. Come on, keep up. Well, right now I'm uploading videos. So I come in here with a pair of tweezers, not my good ones, and I basically get under it. Get under that coil, that first coil. And I'm going to slowly come around, and we're basically unwinding it. Is this an orthodox or unorthodox way to do this? I don't know. I don't care. It works for me. If a purist or a professional wants to poo-poo it, go right ahead. For the amateur, for the hobbyist, it works, and it'll work for you. Of course, it just sprung out. That can happen. It can spring apart on you and fly apart. The good news is, or the good thing is, it's not a tiny part that's going to get lost somewhere. These are relatively big. So don't be afraid. The only thing I would say is protect your eyes. These can come flying out with a vengeance and poke your eye. Not that I think you would go blind, but hey, you might. That does happen occasionally. Okay, so here's our spring. See if we can get that in the shot. There's our spring. And our barrel took off on the floor. I'll have to find that in a minute. Here it is. Some people like to do these in a clear Ziploc bag, a plastic bag, to contain everything. Now, you take a look at that barrel. It is dry. It's very hungry for some lubrication, braking grease. That braking grease is going to go on the inside wall there, and that braking grease should be on. Here's the tail end of that. Here's how that slipping mainspring works. It has the spring with another tail attached to it, and you can see how those are going to come together like that, and it really exerts quite a bit of pressure on that outside wall of the barrel, and it's going to need slipping grease and lubrication on the surfaces. So there it is in a nutshell. There's one end. I don't know if I can show you this completely. It is a counter curve spring. You can see how it goes from that direction, comes around, and counter curves and spins the other way. To try to put that back into the barrel by hand while holding everything, it can be done. It's very tedious. It can damage the spring. It can create filings from the metal touching each other, basically creating problems. The arbor, which is the center part right here, that just gets popped out of the middle. Make sure we're in the shot here. I just come in here with a tweezers, rotate it the opposite direction, and it releases that. There's like a, what do you call it? There's a hook on that arbor that hooks into a slot in. See if I can get that in the shot here. There it is. That hook hooks into a hole in the spring as you wind it and engages it. And here is the center part of that. How that's looking. Of course, my computer is acting up again. I don't know if you can see the hole or the little slot. There it is, that little slot right in there that engages in. So there's complete teardown, including the mainspring and its barrel. And stay tuned for assembly in a day or two, and hopefully this helps.